Greetings and welcome back to A Wolf Uncaged. I found this video and I found it to be quite interesting, and I think you will too. Before we even roll this clip, I want to set the frame, because what you're about to hear is usually treated in one or two ways. Either it's dismissed as madness or it's turned into a paranoid conspiracy story. But Seth gives us a third option. Understanding. Seth tells us that reality is not something that is happening to us, it's something happening through us. So when someone like Philip K. Dick starts talking about time fractures, altered paths, and parallel histories, Seth would not say this man has lost his mind. Of course not. Seth would say this individual is perceiving outside the narrow bandwidth of consensus reality. And that's a very important distinction. Let's listen carefully.
I would like to confess that I've been asked to cut about 2/3 of my speech out and deliver as short a speech as possible. You are free to believe me or to disbelieve, but please take my word on it that I am not joking. This is very serious, a matter of importance.
This is the recording some believe cost him his life.
Now, I want you to notice how he opens. He's not theatrical. He's not dramatic. He's uncomfortable. Seth explains that when deeper layers of perception begin breaking through, the ego does not feel empowered. It feels destabilized. Seth says the ego is designed to deal with a very limited range of reality. When greater portions intrude, confusion results, and that's from the nature of the psyche. This is important because we often assume that expanded awareness feels blissful, but sometimes it feels terrifying. Sometimes it feels like urgency. Sometimes it feels like pressure. Sometimes it feels like I have to say this before something stops me. That's not paranoia. That's the psyche trying to translate non-linear information into linear speech. And that's never clean.
Philip K. Dick spoke to an audience in France. They expected science fiction. What he said, instead, revealed too much about reality and drew the attention of the CIA and FBI, changing his life forever.
The subject of this speech is a topic which has been discovered recently. A breaching, a tinkering, a change had been made, but not in our present, had been made in our past. A variable was changed, reprogrammed as it were, and that because of this, an alternative world branched off, became actualized instead of the prior one, and that in fact, in literal fact, we are once more living this particular segment of linear time.
Now this is the heart of it. Philip K. Dick says a change was made, not in the present, but in the past. Now, listen to what Seth says and tell me if this sounds radical or if it sounds clarifying. The past is not fixed. It exists as a series of probabilities constantly reinterpreted from the present, and that's from the nature of personal reality. We are taught that the past is over, that it is locked, that it is done. Seth says that's completely false. The past is alive. Every time you reinterpret an event, you are literally selecting a different version of it. And when enough belief energy shifts, entire probable histories rise or fall in dominance. Philip K. Dick didn't say that the past was rewritten by a machine. He said reality branched. Seth would say you tune into the version of the past that best supports your present beliefs. That's not sci-fi. That's consciousness mechanics.
He said the CIA and FBI had taken his work years earlier. That's when you know he may have spoken too much.
In March of '74, the CIA opened my mail. The FBI had a file on me. I've seen both. But the cops were watching everything I did. And I was correct. And I was told the house was being watched and that eventually my house would be hit, my files would be opened, my papers would be taken, and so it came to pass.
Now, this is where people usually lose the thread, because once government agencies enter the story, everyone's defenses go up. But Seth gives us a crucial insight here. Seth repeatedly says you must be careful not to project inner authority outward. And that's from the nature of personal reality. When someone encounters knowledge that feels overwhelming, the mind looks for a container. For Philip, the container was surveillance. For someone else, it might be religion. It might be technology. For someone else, it might be destiny. The experience may be valid. The interpretation may be distorted. Seth would say, the psyche will clothe unfamiliar perceptions in symbols it already understands. So instead of dismissing Dick or blindly believing every detail, Seth invites us to do something more difficult. Separate experience from story.
When I came home and found my house consisting of nothing but rubble.
Now, this moment is tragic, but is also deeply instructive. Seth explains that when belief systems come into violent conflict, the environment reflects that conflict back to the individual. The physical world is a faithful mirror of inner conditions. That's from the book Seth Speaks. If you believe that reality is unstable, if you believe that forces are after you, if you believe that your inner world is under threat, then reality doesn't punish you. Reality agrees with you. And this is not blame. This is responsibility. Seth says, you do not get what you deserve. No, you get what you believe. And belief doesn't always mean conscious belief. It means emotional certainty.
A few years later, he suddenly dies, right before the premiere of Blade Runner, June 1982, the film adaptation of his novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Fans said it was strange that the author who had predicted so many modern themes about AI, identity, and reality never got to see the movie that would finally make him widely famous.
Now, from the perspective of the Seth Material, the way we talk about death is deeply distorted. You see, death is simply the withdrawal of attention from one system of reality and the entrance into another. And that's from the book Seth Speaks. Philip K. Dick didn't lose anything by leaving before Blade Runner. From Seth's perspective, he completed a cycle of exploration. You see, some personalities come to open doors, not to live long lives enjoying the results. And Seth reminds us, the self is not bound by one lifetime's achievements.
We are accustomed to supposing that all change takes place along the linear time axis, from past to present to future. The present is an accrual of the past and is different from it. The future will accrue from the present on and be different yet. That an orthogonal or right-angled time axis could exist, a lateral domain in which change...
This is where Seth and Philip K. Dick meet perfectly. Time is not a line. It's a field. All moments exist at once. That's from the book, The Nature of the Psyche. You are not moving through time. You are selecting focus points within it. And occasionally someone like Philip K. Dick becomes aware of that selection process itself. That awareness can liberate, or it can overwhelm. Seth's message is balance. You are meant to explore reality, not be consumed by it. Philip K. Dick didn't uncover a terrifying secret. No. He brushed up against a larger truth without the tools to ground it. Seth gives us those tools. And the most important one is this. You are safe. Reality is cooperative. And consciousness is creative. I'm Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you to all who have supported the channel through buying me a coffee. And let me know what type of videos you want to see next. Until the next time, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and peace. If you found something in this video that sparked a thought, shifted your perspective, or just made you feel more grounded, consider showing some love by buying me a coffee. It helps fuel the channel, keeps the uploads coming, and lets me know that the content matters to you. The link's right below in the description or on my channel banner. No pressure, just appreciation if you're moved to support. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you. Peace.